I think that's why when I came to work with you guys at the New York Center of Innovative Medicine, when I got sick, because with CBM, it's extremely codified. We have a way of doing things that is guaranteed to produce results. You do this, it will produce the result. If you do this, you will experience that. And so coming to work with you guys, I already had that orientation. One of my clients once, when they finished a program, I asked him, what did you get out of it? And he said, you showed me how to take care of myself and who and what I care about. And when I came to NYCIM, that's kind of what you guys said to me. We're going to show you how to take care of yourself and who and what you care about. So there was this incredible connection. So again, strange coincidence? I think not.
No strange coincidences in this world. Not that I believe in. But tell us a little bit about that, because of course, you ended up at NYCIM. But what was the journey like? You got sick. You didn't just start here. I know that you did go elsewhere, correct? And you tried to navigate, as so many do, the medical system and tried to find the right solution for yourself. What was that like? Was it a long journey before you ended up at our doorstep at NYCIM? And kind of what were the steps before you got here?
Right. So the journey started with really getting run down, not feeling well, and it progressing significantly. And not feeling well meant I was getting dizzy, I was losing my memory, eyesight was going, there was blood coming out of places it shouldn't be, there was a lot of pain, and it was progressing. And I ended up getting sent to see the folks in nuclear medicine, where they take those cool scans and they have a look. And my body lit up like a Christmas tree. Everywhere from brain, lymphatic system, lungs, liver, kidney, you name it, pancreas, bowel. It's just the list went on. And I remember I had a business trip I was supposed to be going on. And the head of the nuclear medicine group came through and said, if you were my husband, I would tell you to go home right now and get your affairs in order and get them in order quickly. There was very little ambiguity. Then things got confusing, because then I went to see another doctor and they had a different story. And then I would go see another doctor and they would have a slightly different story. And then I remember for me, I was getting frustrated because people would keep asking me what was going on and I couldn't tell them because I didn't know. And I remember going to see a pulmonologist because I was really having a lot of problem breathing. And came out of it and the doctor told me there was nothing wrong with my lungs. And I asked him, except for I can't breathe. And I just was getting passed on and I kind of hit a brick wall. At the same time, my wife had decided that she didn't want to be married anymore. So she announced in the middle of it all that she wanted a divorce. And I kind of just got the hell in. So I got my affairs in order. And then thought what the most responsible thing to do was. I have a pretty strong faith. So first I went to Israel and I went to Jerusalem. I went and prayed. I just needed to clear my head. And then I headed off to the Himalayas and spent some time with the Karmapa Lama. I was very blessed to get a blessing there before we headed off into the Himalayas, and spent some time there, gained some incredible insights. And then I came and met with you guys and went through my testing, and it turned out that finally there was some clarity. The results of the test that I ran, that you guys ran at NYCIM, I wish I'd gone to you right after the nuclear folks, because it actually tied up cleanly with the very initial prognosis. The difference was you guys had a solution. But before I started with you, I headed off to the Amazon, and I spent some time with a shaman there and went for some healing. And the interesting thing was, when I got to New York to work with you guys, between the time I'd spent in Israel and the time I'd spent in the Himalayas and the time I'd spent in the Amazon, what they had to say lined up perfectly with what you guys had to say. So in each of those places, I'd been living out of the question, how do I get healthy? I want my health back. And their answer had been, maybe start with being grateful. Maybe go from there to being kind to yourself and to others. And then focus on doing the next right thing. What you eat, where you put your attention, the way you engage. And that ended up being the path I ended up going down. I came to you guys and you were saying the same thing. You had a plan. It was orientated around me putting my head and my heart in the same place. And just doing the things that were going to build health. And I remember I would come and see, I was living in Chicago at the time, and I'd fly into New York twice a month and spend a week there and deep dive into treatments. And it was incredible. A little over a year after being told, get my affairs in order really quickly, and kind of not really seeing much of a future, I remember sitting in my apartment in Chicago and getting a call from Dr. Tom Schultz, your father, and we'd just run some tests, and he said, you're good to go. It's not a sign of, at first there had been, I remember the ABCs, the amoebas, the bacteria, the cancer, and then there were these flukes, and then there were all these pathogens and these toxins, and I'd been such a hot mess. And now I had a clean bill of health and I was healthy. It was incredible.